Hi Flosstube, I'm Lori and welcome to Once Upon a Stitch. I just want to say that I did an entire video. I said my goodbyes, wished you all well, and I looked down and I saw it wasn't recording. So I'm like, what? So I go back and I see how far it went, and maybe about a third of the way through, it stopped, and I don't really know why. I don't know if I hit it accidentally and stopped it, or maybe the computer maxed its capacity, but I would have thought it would have told me that. So before I decided to start this again, I went back and deleted some old videos that I had on the computer, and hopefully whatever happened will not happen again. I'll try not to touch the mouse. Maybe that's what I was doing. Maybe I placed something on it. Anyway, I'll move it away and hope this goes through. Welcome. I just hope I remember to say what I said in the first one. I hope I don't repeat myself 2 and 3 times because I don't remember what I said and what I didn't say. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is Saturday, May 28th. March 28th. It's overcast today. It's supposed to rain most of the day in New Jersey. So I want to welcome any new subscribers that I might have, and a special welcome to the ones that come back every time I make a video. I am forever thankful for you and your lovely comments to me, and thank you so much for the congratulations of the 2 years. It really did seem to fly by. When I mentioned it to my husband, I says, it's my 2-year anniversary, and he's like, really? It's been that long? I says, I know. But thank you for watching and making this fun. I get to share my hobby with other people, and I think in the past that's why I'm always enthusiastic about starting hobbies and trying different things, but without somebody to share it with, sometimes your mojo just doesn't exist. I just want to say special thank yous for all the people that go in to work to make our lives easier, whether it be in healthcare, in food, in just everybody that in whatever job capacity you go in. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you, and hopefully our world can get through this and the United States can move on and find a vaccine and help everybody in dealing with this. And that's all I want to say. My heart is heavy, but I just want to go forward and make this someplace where we can not forget it. No, we're not going to forget it, but put it aside a little bit and share some good news. First, I want to thank everybody again for watching and the well wishes on the 2 years. I appreciate them. I have some notes here of people that have mentioned things that were so nice to me. Everybody was nice to me, but I mean, either I had a question and they responded. And I want to thank Marie for explaining the satin stitch for my Jenny Bean and Friends by Shakespeare's Peddler. I am going to give it a try, and I appreciate you taking the time to explain it. Kim T said she went out and bought the Buckleberry sampler by Rosewood Manor because she saw me working on it, and now she also inspired me to continue to work on it because she wants to see my progress as well as I want to see her progress. So we'll share each other our progress as we move forward. I had said that my question for the giveaway was if you had one pattern to buy, and I had said mine was Kringles by Little House Needleworks because it reminded me of Macy's on 34th Street in Manhattan. And my mother bringing me into the city at Christmas time, especially Macy's, and seeing the windows all decorated, and there were a lot of department stores at that time that did the windows up really beautifully for Christmas. And it was nice to see people that did live within the 5 boroughs of New York and that went into the city and lived in the city and now have moved away, but they have those nice memories of it as well. somebody mentioned, I had said I wanted buttons for the pair of Pilgrims by Lizzy Kate, and somebody says try 123 Stitch, and I did, and they referred me to just another button company, so I will be eventually getting those buttons from them. And then, and the other one is, yes, it is awesome being a grandma, even though I don't get to see them right now in person. We do video time each other, FaceTime, Messenger each other, Facebook Messenger, so that we can see how he's doing. But Caleb's more interested in putting everything in his mouth right now because he's teething really badly, so he also wants to put the camera in his mouth. So we get a lot of close-up pictures of him. But it's all good. I love it, and I'll look forward to when the nesting in place is over, so we can get out and see each other again. Okay, I had some finishes, but I also had some prior finishes that I never fully finished. So I'm taking this time to maybe pick one a day, and well, not every day, but yeah, trying to pick one and see what I want to do with it as best that I can, because like there's one I want to finish into a pillow, and it's on white Lugana, but I need to back it with the interfacing, and I ran out of I have a very small piece of interfacing, and it's not big enough, and I can't wait. It's an Easter pattern. It was from the Tra La La collection, but that's going to have to wait. And I don't want to order it online because I went on to Joann's and they want to sell me a whole bolt, and I'm not in the business of finishing, and I don't want to buy it that way. So I'm thinking of, and you know, what's 2 more weeks at this point? Hopefully we'll be able to visit stores, or by that time I'll feel better about doing curbside pickup. But right now I'm staying put. So on to what I did finish. This was a prior finish. It was Merry Christmas by Country Cottage, and this is my finish. It's not a fully finished, but it's almost. I have it, you know, like I'll wait till Christmas comes to see what kind of board that I'll put it on, or even a frame that I'll put fabric in the background if I can find a frame that would equally distance this around. But I'm glad I got this part done. Sometimes to me this is the most tedious. It's the lacing, and I put some fiber fill. If I hold it this way you can see it's a little thicker. I put not fiber fill, batting, quilting batting in here, and I'm happy with the way that it came out thus far. Okay, another prior finish, I forgot to move it over, was this little ornament, and a friend gave me this pattern, and I forgot who the designer or anything was on it, but I finished it just flat with a piece of fabric and some braiding and a little jingle bell. I have another one of this motif that I stitched. This is, I don't know if you can see it, it looks blue, but it's green stitched on blue, and the other one was blue stitched on like a beige. It was a piece of fabric that I had left over, so I haven't finished that one yet. So I did do that, and then the last previous finish I did was Abbey Rose. I believe this was Welcome Summer. The pattern was gifted to me by the lovely Shirl McKinney, Tranquil Stitches, and I have since have given it away in a previous giveaway. And this was a Halloween frame. You see the holes up here. There's a black wire that went with this. It was black, and I had my husband spray paint it for me, and I put some batting on this as well, and laced it and put some sheet metal on the magnet, and it fits perfectly in here. I can always switch it up if I wanted to with a different pattern. I haven't decided if I'm going to use the black, but I'm thinking I might just put, I have wire that I might do just a fancy wire and maybe do that, or I might even just do a regular hang up on the wall and just maybe put a button or something on those, or I haven't decided. But this part, the hard part, was done. So that was previous. Then I know a lot of people were doing March Madness of starting things, and I was like, no, I'm not going to start anything new. I did. And I started. My friend Alva gave me a couple of patterns, and this was one of them. Happy Easter. And I saw a lot of people working on this. And people have worked on it before because it's not a new release. And here's mine. And this is on a Daffodil Lugana. Doesn't show very yellow, but that's it. And I hand stitched the rickrack with matching thread. And I have to say that I bought Mountain Mist Fiber Fill, and I really noticed a difference from the last bag that one that I bought. And I do like this. It's a lot denser once you stab it in there. So thank you, Vonna, for your tips and tricks. We always love to learn new things. This was another pattern Alva gave me, and it was Think Spring by Lizzy Kate. And here's my finish on that. This frame was a frame that I showed you. I don't know if it was the last video or the video before that, but I bought this at a thrift store. I covered the price right now. I think it was like $2.50, and it was brown. So when Sal painted the other frame, I had him paint this one white. The fabric is like spring green, even though it doesn't show very well on camera. It's a spring green, and that's my finish. So I started this and finished it. Yeah, they were all 2 days. I finished that in 2 days. Must have been like a Saturday, Sunday type of 2 days, because that's a lot of stitching, I think. And then anyway, put a cardboard backing, and that one. And then when we were able to go out, Sal's physical therapy place is right next to our Barnes & Noble, but I wasn't going, so I sent him there. But what I did was I called Barnes & Noble saying, do you have such and such a magazine? This one. And they said they did. So I says, can you put it on hold? He goes, okay, we'll hold it for 3 days. I said, my husband will be there in an hour. Well, he had to go to physical therapy, so I said to him, make sure you go to the store first. So he picked it up for me, and of course we love Priscilla and Chelsea's spring tulips. And what I did was I wanted something quick for Easter, and I selected Heart and Hand by Cecilia Turner. That little bunny right there. And I stitched it and finished it. Oh, I love it. I just love it. I chose my own floss. Basically, it was 2 colors. Yeah, 2 colors. And I don't remember what I used, but I had this frame that I bought a while ago, and I never did anything with it. And if you see, I must not have laid it flat, because you see the glue, how it stopped right there. Luckily, it still matched where I put the sheet metal, and I allowed for something like that to happen so that I can line it up as best that I can. Oops. And I also like the daisies that I selected, and so that it kind of brought out the pink in that. Okay, and those were all my finishes that I had. So I have lots more to finish, but I need things to finish it, and one of them is fusible interfacing. So I'll have to just put aside until I can get to Joann's, because I know they'll sell it online, but it's you have to buy the bolt, and I'm not ready to buy that much interfacing. Okay, what have I been stitching on? Camera's still rolling, so we're good. Little House Needleworks pine. The tree, there's 3 trees like this. It was pine, Douglas, and something else. Anyway, here's the pine. I did complete the pine. And the other two, here they are the Douglas and the Balsam. That was it. So these three I'm going to finish as little pillows. Yeah, I think pillows. And then the other top one that says Jack Frost's Tree Farm, I'll do it on a flat and see what I can hang it on, and then maybe hang the pillows from below it. So that's the plan. So completed that. Let's see, let me put this here. The next one I worked on, and these are in no particular order of how I really worked on them, but was the Lizzy Kate pair of Pilgrims, and these are the buttons that I was referring to. She's holding a pie there, and he has a pumpkin down at the bottom of him. There's a few other buttons I think in there, but so this is where I've gotten on her. Last time you saw her, I had part of the bib and part of the arm. So I did the hand, the waistband, the other arm, and I started working down on her apron. So I think another, I hope 4 days. There will be 2 more rotations, but I don't know. Prairie Schooler, Village Sampler. Okay, May. There you go. And last you saw it, I had to work on this house to finish. And I did. And I started the house below it. And I worked a little bit on that border, bringing it down. So, you know, in the beginning of the year, I mentioned, in case those that haven't been with me, that I selected 10 projects that I want to complete for, like, Michelle Rudy's Farm Girls 10, Stitch 10 and 20, but I didn't post it online or anything, but it's just like for me to give me the incentive to, like, yes, I want to get these done. And that was one of them, and here's another. And this is Welcome Summer by Puntini Puntini. And this is on a 28 count Vonna. And I finished, since last you saw it, the yellow cabana, and I started the blue. There's some outline stitching, but I was going to do that after I finished all the regular stitching. Long Dog Sampler, the Templar Prophecy, and I had a page finish on this, and that makes page 3. And there's 15 pages in total. So 2 more across. Okay, that's where I've gotten. And so I have 2 more pages that should fit there. And then we start the next row. But you can start seeing the top of the knight's head holding a sword. You know, when you're stitching it and all you see is black and white, and you're stitching and you're not really sure sometimes how it's looking, but when you hold it at a distance, oh, now I see it. So it's kind of cool. So that should take me a good 2 years. But I'm tracking it. Like every time I stitch it, I have a book and I write down how much I've gotten through, just to see how long something like that would, how many days it actually takes me to finish it. This is Satsuma Street Autunno, and these threads are, it's DMC, but then there's variegated DMC, and not everybody carries the variegated, so they gave you the, what the regular DMC color is, and then from there, if I had a variegation from either Weeks Dye Works or Classic Color Works or Gast, I would pick from there and try to make it work. So a lot of these colors I probably wouldn't put together, but I think they're gorgeous together. So I have a frame for it. So I will get this finished, ready for autumn. Really pretty. Yeah, I guess, you know, with us being stuck indoors, I stitch more now during the day as well. So, I can get more accomplished, which I'm thrilled about. Okay, next one was called Revere, Early American. And I finished Paul, and the next one was going to be Abigail Adams. And I just started her. But hopefully I'll finish this before the year's end. And I'm really, really liking this. I do not think I'm going to put the border that Vonna charted. I love the border, but I don't know. I just Paul Revere, and then very little on the other. So I have a couple of like Americana pieces that I finished. I did the Heritage Sampler and one from the Sampler Company. What was that called? Plymouth Sampler. So I think this will go nicely with that, those like American history type of thing. So I'm going to try and do a wall in the family room of, when I get a couple of more done, of samplers to kind of put it out there together. The next one I worked on was Cottage Garden, Songbird's Garden Series #1, which was Love Forever and Ever. And I didn't know if I was going to finish the flower last night. Oh, I should show you to you together. That was a lot of filling in. This is on a 28 count Blue Ice Lugana. Gets any clearer. There you go. And here's the picture. Fell over, sorry. Because I was getting tired of filling. I did it most of the day yesterday until night. But I'm glad I did get it accomplished, because now the next time I can decide what I'm gonna, if I'm gonna start the other flower or go down. And so it's always fun to figure out which direction you're going to go. Okay, that's what I've been stitching on tonight. I will be picking up, because it's still March, I have 2 more 2-day rotations. So definitely Christmas at Hollyberry Farm. So I will show you that the next time to see how far I've gotten, and I haven't decided on the last one for the month. But come April 1st, I decided that it's going to be special for me. It's our anniversary. We're going to be married 41 years, and the day after is my birthday. So I won't tell you how old I am. But I have to make my own fun, and starting new things makes me happy. So, and this is in no particular order, because they're out of order from the last videos that I shot. So, On the Beach, Tra La La, and this is, okay, the colors might be silks and they're in French, but they have the DMC equivalent. So some of them, like, I didn't want to do a solid blue for the water, and for the sand if I could avoid it, and I try to look at the picture and pick out colors, and I'm doing it on a 28 count Lugana in white. Zweigart. And it's not going to be a big, it's going to be a little pillow. So I just pick some colors randomly and I keep them in bags. And I picked some were sampler threads, some wheat dye works, and I'm going to do the best that I can with what I have. Okay, the next one, this one is actually going to be started on the 8th of April. It's in 3 sections. This was a mystery sampler by Lizzy Kate, and it was Things Unseen, and this is what the final will look like. And it says, the best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. So, if I'm not mistaken, I think Pam and Steph have this on their wall now behind them. And I picked this up last summer when I was down in Cape May, New Jersey. There's a store down there. They usually put their name on the stickers, but they have it on these. I forget the name of the store, but it's the only one down there, Cape May, New Jersey. And I'm doing it on a 28 count mushroom Lugana. So that will be my actual birthday start. Yay. It's exciting. Can't wait for April 1st. And April 1st, I will be starting Blackbird Design, Easter Parade. I know a lot of you are starting it now, or have started it, have finished it. I will be doing that on a 28 count, nope, 25 count. That's what I had in my stash. So it'll be a little bit bigger than everybody else's cream. But I'm thrilled to start that too. Yeah, starting things makes me happy. But then when I have 50 things, that'll not make me so happy. And I'll be at the part where, okay, I gotta get these done. Next is Satsuma Street, Halloween Cat. And that is going to be done in a 14 count flapper by Picture This Plus. And this pattern, it tells you basically on 14 count or 28, it's about 7.5 by 8 inches. So I'm thrilled that I bought this last August during the New Jersey Flosstube retreat. And so that's just it. I have patterns that I say to myself, you know, I don't have patterns like everybody has, like Blackbird, and they bring out 2 hours worth of patterns, though I love seeing that. I don't have that. So the ones and couple that I do have, I do really want to start. So I decided I'm starting them. This is a Fragments in Time 2019 number 2, and that's the only name that it is on here. And it looks like a shaker house. So I will be doing that on a vintage cashel linen in smoky white. And you can see like there's some variegation to that. This is the one that I had started the second time, Buckleberry Sampler. Like I started it on whatever I'm working it on now. I don't know off the top of my head. But I wasn't sure I liked that fabric. So I had this white and I started it on this. And then what I did was I put them both just laying on the back of the couch. And I left the room for a while, and then when I came back, I looked at it, slept on it, came back, and I realized that I did like it on the other fabric. So I just didn't take the time to frog that yet. But I'm going to find a section on here that I will put this on. And I think I don't want to do a big project on here because it has a lot of those fluffs. I don't know what they're called, but that linen has, and so that's why I don't work on linen very much, because I'm not experienced in dealing with too much of that, but I'll give it a shot. And the next one is a Blackbird design, The Long and Winding Road. I grew up with the Beatles. I loved the Beatles. It was either you were a Rolling Stones fan or the Beatles. And the Beatles were more me than Rolling Stones. So I like the Rolling Stones music now, but then it was the Beatles. And I will be doing that on a 25 count eggshell, which looks kind of creamy to me. It's not showing up too creamy on the camera, but it's not quite as white as it's showing up on camera. Okay, and then finally, this is the Drawn Thread Sunnyside sampler. And I did my best with the threads because they're called for dinky dyes, needlepoint silks, and they didn't have a conversion. So I tried going online. I went on their website, and some of their conversions were to like WIPS or Classic Colors. I forget off the top of my head, but I wrote it all down. I did the best that I can, so I'm going to see how this goes. And I will be stitching this on a 28 count Lugana in mushroom. And that's going to be my new starts for April. Alrighty, so let me get back to my notes. Haul. I have a little bit of haul. Okay, I purchased Spring Gatherings by the Scattered Seed Samplers, and I love that little pattern, that little guy, and I want to stitch him too. I don't know if I can add him to April because I do want to stitch on the stitch 10 that I have left to finish. And then I always want to stitch on the Templar and his eyes on the sparrow every month because those are years project. And I don't want to not stitch on them. I enjoy them. They're going to take a long time. So I want to always get them in my rotation. And then I want to get those 10 that I said I want to get done. So far I've completed, on this door right here, I made a list of all of them. And I've finished 3 of the 7. 3 of the 10, 7 left. So, and I will be stitching this. This looks like mushroom as well. Not sure, it might be that. There's no tag on here, and I hate when there's no tag on here. And I don't want it. No, it's not mushroom because mushroom's a little darker. So I think it's that like sagey green that, because it looks like there's a little bit of green in here. But anyway, I'm going to try this pattern on this fabric, which is really being washed out. I hope when it uploads, it shows a better color. And then with that, I ordered the Cornwall sampler, cottage sampler by Rosewood Manor. I've been watching Krafty Kim up in Canada. She's working on this, and she's doing it on a much smaller fabric. I didn't buy the fabric yet, so it's going to definitely be 28 count. But it looks gorgeous, and so that inspired me. What I'm thinking I'm going to do when I do start this is I'm going to leave the handle of the basket out if I can. When I showed this to my husband, and he said, yeah, but that handle, like, that was the first thing that he saw. So I think I'm going to leave the handle out and just do the flowers. And where the handle is, I'll just fill in with whatever color the flower is there. So that's my intention. And I don't know about you, but I'm having trouble finding threads to go with my projects. So they're either on back order or they don't have them, and whatever. So when I ordered this, I made sure that I ordered the threads with it, and they did have them all because some of them were like 8 skeins of one, 5 of another. So I bought them all. And of course, this is probably done on a higher count, so they probably use less floss than I will, but it'll definitely give me enough to get most of it done. And maybe I'll need another skein of here and there. So that was the first time I've ever done that, bought the threads. 123 Stitch owes me threads from, I think it was Christmas that I ordered them. And they keep saying one is missing. Anyway, but that did come from 123 Stitch. And then these are some patterns that I got at another order. I decided I wanted to do Blackbird's Anniversaries of the Heart. And I know there's a group that are selling it. But number one, I don't have number one, so I can't start it. And then I would have to see what size piece I'd have to do, because I do want to do it all on one. I have to decide if I want to do 4 and 3 or 3 and 4. Anyway, the ones that I did get, and I ordered 6 and only 5 came through, because even though it was in my my cart, by the time they filled the order, one of them was missing. So I have number 2, number 4, yay, my birthday month, Pink Banner Hill. And I like the idea of personalizing the months when possible. This is number 5, Farmhouse. Number 6 is Happy Birthday. It's Amy and James's birthday in June. And Swan Lake, number 7, July. Michael and Rebecca's anniversary. And that's all I got. 10 is back ordered. And then the question I think I mentioned it earlier. I don't know if it was the last video, but for my giveaway was, what one pattern would you want to buy if you could only buy one? And mine was Little House Needleworks Kringles. I did get it. I don't know when I'll start it, but I had to have it. And then the last was Blackbird Designs Sewing Club. And I can't wait to start planning the projects in this book. So, because I was having trouble getting floss, and a bunch of my stitchy friends, we get together usually on Thursday evenings, and we have a video chat. And I mentioned to them about, the floss, that I'm having trouble with that. So one lovely lady, Tonya, thank you so much, offered she was going to her LNS, or maybe she made a special trip, I'm not really sure, but she asked us if we needed any, and I gave her a list, and she picked it up for me, and they had all of them in. So I was really thrilled. So thank you again, Tonya. Love you, miss you. Hope to see you soon. Okay, and that's it for what I purchased. So the next is going to be my giveaway. And the first, I'm giving away 3 items, but let me say this. I don't know when I'm going to get to the post office, but please email me your address, and if an opportunity arises before, sooner than later, I will definitely get it in the mail, but I'm not going to go now. But I am going to pick the winners. I am going to contact you from your last one. Please email me either through Instagram Messenger is great. We seem to get that a lot quicker than my regular email, but I will put both down below, and I'll get that to you as soon as I can. But no promises. They are yours. It'll be in the envelopes, ready to go as soon as I feel confident enough to get out there. So the question was, what one pattern, if you could only buy one, would everybody select? And so the first one is going to be these 2 heart and hand patterns. One is Autumn Bird and Halloween Bird. I realized when I was going through my box of not finished pieces, this one was not completed, and I think this one was not completed, Halloween, because I think I was going to look for a little sign button or something, so I have to go through and see if I have anything that I can add to this. So okay, back to this. So the winner for this is number 24, Maria Young, and I think I wrote it in in my notes. I wanted to tell you what everybody had said they wanted it to be. And she selected the Blackbird Sewing Club book, which I showed. So congratulations, Maria. Like I said, I'll make a note on your message and, you know, get back to me with your address. The next one is the Lavender and Lace Winter Angel. Angel of Winter is the exact title. And 16 people wanted to stitch that, and Diane Mitchell was number 9. And Diane wanted to stitch hands-on design pinwheels. Congratulations, Diane. And then the last one was Works by ABC, Flowers from 1650. And I had shown the finished project that I had done. And the winner to that was number 36. Oops, right here by my finger, Mary Nelson. Okay, and so send me your address, and as soon as I can, I will get that out in the mail to you. But what I also did from the question was I kept track of what everybody said they would have liked to stitch, and then I check marked because I want to see if there was one particular pattern that stood out over the rest, and there was, and it was Teresa Kogut's Newcastle Bouquet, and yeah, it is gorgeous. And then the second runner-up was Kringles by Little House. So those were the 2 top ones, but Teresa Kogut was the top designer because some people had mentioned other Heaven and Nature Sing. They mentioned the New Angel one, Hope for the World. So there was a number, but the top designer of this giveaway was Teresa Kogut. So congratulations, Teresa. Alrighty, that's about it. I just want to make sure I went over everything that I wanted to, and the video is still going, so it's all good. I hope this video is something that you enjoyed. I hope you give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and I hope you come back when I do it again and see my progress on all my new starts. So until then, happy stitching, everybody. Stay safe, stay well.